What do you want at McDonald's?
You're making me eat McDonald's.
No, this is just a snack. We're going to go out somewhere nice after we drop the transmission off. You filming yet?
Yeah, when you said, what do you want at McDonald's?
Oh.
Where are we going, Chris?
Drop off broken parts from Austin.
Yeah. What'd he break? this time.
He's our #1 customer. No, I'm kidding. He broke something inside his transmission. Rick seems to think it's the 4-5-6 shift. Something to do with the gears 4, 5, and 6, and it's like an input shaft. I'm sorry, it was just slipped my mind. And 1, 2, and 3 still work well, but 4, 5, and 6 are gone. So we're gonna wait until we get his transmission out, but his car is in an audio shop getting a lot of stereo and stuff put in there. So we're going to just bring the transmission that came out of my car and get it rebuilt. Plus, it shouldn't have any internally broke parts like a shaft. So it should be a normal rebuild. So we're gonna drop that off at a RCR tonight. Rick's not gonna be able to get to it immediately, but he said just set it on his
in 400 feet. Use the right lane to
little
turn
shelf
right.
outside, and he'll be able to wheel it on
U-turn.
in. So that's where we're going. All right, just dropped it off. People that are really into the G8 and CTSV community will probably know where we're at. We didn't want to film there because we got there and we dropped transmission off, and of course was talking G8 stuff. There's Rick. We're actually going to end up going with the race build for this car. That's including, we're going to upgrade to a different clutch pack and a 4, 5, 6 gear shaft, upgraded hardened shaft. Do you think the hardened shafts would be a good upgrade for Austin?
Yes. I think with the way that he likes to, test the car, I think that it would work best for him and what he wants to achieve later with his build later.
You mean the fact
investment for the future?
You mean the fact that Austin beats on his car religiously, right?
No, he just likes to send it.
He does send it. Send it, Austin.
Hey, that's what it's made for, right?
Look at the beautiful sunset.
It's beautiful. This is a nice spot out here. It really is. I've always enjoyed coming here.
Bet you have.
People watch that.
Huh?
People watch that.
Just about dropped the camera.
We actually have one of our fans.
Oh yeah, somebody was there that said that he watched us on YouTube.
And I was so shocked they didn't ask his name.
I know, me either. I'm so bad about that. We should send Rick a message later and ask him who it was. We can talk about you here, but there's nothing wrong with it.
Where are we going? What are we doing?
Going back to Rick Crawford Racing to pick up the transmission we got built for G8, of course. It's going turbo in the future. So instead of doing the basic, Rick strip kind of build, he went ahead and did everything. I'm not all up to date on all the differences, but I do know it was a rather expensive transmission. It has everything upgraded in it that Rick
Potentially might break.
Huh?
That potentially might break under boosts and...
Yeah. This car that we're putting this one in, I'm not as worried about it breaking due to the power, but as of the person that owns it.
He's not going to baby it.
Austin is not easy on cars.
Which is good. I mean,
no,
because he understands that he's not going to, just be racing it here and there, and he's going to be taking it to the track, and he understands the money that it takes to upgrade stuff for the future.
What you're trying to say is he understands that he's going to break it. That's what you mean to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. So we're trying to do everything we can to prevent breaking this transmission. Is the same one I think that Rick uses in his.
Doosty.
That he uses in his low 8-second CTSV. So hopefully it should hold up pretty good.
Where are we at?
You don't have to ask every time.
Meow meow. Come on, kitty. Come on, kitty.
Yeah, C6 grams
La la. I know.
I don't think it's good.
Did you put a Camaro pan on it? Yep. Cool. That's one thing we have to do. It didn't have one, did it? Awesome. Perfect. That's a Camaro pan filter. All you gotta do is bolt it in. And throw some fluid in it. Yep. Throw a bunch of fluid. Now, pay attention how much you throw in it. The newer pans, they lowered the fill level tube on them, on the newer pans. They used to be flush with the top of the pans. Now they're like a quart down. So I wouldn't say it would be too much to say put 2 quarts extra in it.
Oh.
Just for good information.
No, that makes sense because
I don't know if that's too big.
I had an SS somebody brought me last week, seen with the LSA on. I was thinking about couldn't get a transmission right. It was low on fluid.
yeah, they all are.
So put fluid in it and it fixed everything. I noticed that I did a really poor job in actually going over the transmission. This transmission was Rick's top of the line build, meaning it's not just the street strip build. This one has new everything: the steels, frictions, Camaro deep pan, custom 3, 5 and reverse clutch pack with extra steel and friction. Same for the 4, 5, 6. Hardened pressure plate, extra thick backing plate. He does some pump upgrades. He also added in the power glide parts that he uses to strengthen part of it. I don't know exactly what part of the transmission he's upgrading with that. Redid some of the seals in the trans valve body to strengthen that and freshen it up. Also went with the billet hub as well. So basically everything in this one was rebuilt or upgraded except for the input shaft, which no one makes. So we're going to run this one as is for now. But wanted to just let you know this is not his base build. This is the most extreme version you can get, even more so than the one in his CTSV that runs low 8s, as this one has the billet hub that his does not. Back to the video.
Usually when there's a problem, it's not like the power breaks it.
Ask Rick.
Yeah, it's not that the power breaks it. It's like you shake the tires really hard, and it's so violent to the drivetrain. It's a lot more violent than the power is itself. It's just because it's like a jackhammer, you know. It's like if you took a jackhammer set on concrete, it doesn't break the concrete, but if you bounce it up and down, it rips right through it. So the same thing with parts on the trans. You shake the tires real hard, and your vision goes blurry and does a bunch of crazy stuff.
And you don't let out of it. Yeah, you don't let out.
You drive through it, and it'll start tearing.
If anybody's gonna try to drive through it, which I would tell him not to, it'd be Austin. But I'd tell him to be
I would
careful
tell
with
you
it.
what'll probably happen if he shakes the tires bad in first. It'll roll the sprag. It's not an expensive fix, but it is a fix. It'll probably cost like $350 to replace the sprag in it if he breaks it, because you got to tear it all the way down.
Time to take it out.
Yeah.
But
Rebuild
if he
it.
upgraded all that, and
So
I think he'll be
as
fine
long
with
as
the
the
power.
as long as the car's set up right, you don't get too crazy going after no prep stuff and launch it in first. A lot of times if he does no prep, I'd say just manually launch it in second.
Why? Because it spins up so quick, or it just
Well,
spins? Or?
most of the time you're not going
No
to stick it
traction.
anyways. You're going to knock the tires off it. He'll still spin. If he makes enough power, he's still going to spin it in second.
Yep.
So second's a lot more tolerable to tire shake, and
Yeah, we got the
it
converter
won't be
in,
as
too.
violent on
We
the
got
tire.
the 3DP,
Yeah.
so we got that
It
in there.
won't be nearly as violent. So I tell a lot of guys.
And the
just don't.
292. See, we're not. It shouldn't be too strong now. Like I said, he's going for a 600 at the wheels. Now is probably making 600 if he's lucky with a torque storm, but he does have that turbo kit coming. We're gonna try to do that next couple of months.
They'll always be stepping up on it. Octane. I can't preach enough about octane. Don't go overkill on injectors. It just makes it hard to make the transmission right.
I said that too.
The G8 tune, you're already at 63 pound limit.
Yep.
You're already doubling, going just 127 pound injectors, and past that you have to start scaling.
Yep. That's what I told him too. Right now it's like 80s in there, and I said, for what he's gonna do, we're gonna run those until they won't run anymore.
1650s, 1700s is about the max that you can get everything working right. After that, it starts getting a little tricky. I like meth injection because it substitutes fueling and it cools the intake charge a little bit. Everything with boost likes alcohol.
Yep, I agree with that. But I agree with that too. And I got another guy I'm tuning another blower car and telling him some of the same things. He wanted to put 1300 cc injectors, but he's only running 8 or 9 pounds of boost.
If you deadhead a fuel system and you run small injectors, it'll do like that one LSA car did. It'll break up part throttle and knock and backfire and do all kinds of stuff. You get with hard lines and hard rails, it's like drone. You get like drone in the fuel system and its resonance. And you'll get pressure spikes, and you'll have injectors that won't get any fuel, and some will get too much fuel.
I'm actually I'm going to retune that car not that car, but the car Dusty just finished it on the way over here. Same injectors. Those are just decapped stock ones, right? In there now.
Which
one? Bruce's car. Eric Rue, Jennifer Rue.
I don't know if I swapped them back or not. They were decap stockers because I was like, listen, you don't even need more than this. I mean, you could take decap stockers with a 245 and holding fuel pressure. I was like, with full 85, because I use decap stockers on CTSVs with full 85 and bolt-ons with a 245. So I was like, I don't know why on a G8 if you can put enough fuel pressure to it.
It's got the same. Yeah, it's got the same setup.
Usually
We've been driving
I'll take him for
car. I'm in Caitlin's car now, so it's good. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Usually I'll put a JMS voltage booster on a pump for full 85, but it'll keep up with it. It's not, and the pump won't keep up with decapped injectors, not to mention 1050s. So you're just you already got a problem, and now you amplify it, and then you still don't have enough fuel for either. So what do you?
Yeah, I think the injectors will probably outflow the pump for sure in most places.
They will. CTSV will drop down to 32 to 36 pounds with full 85 with decapped injectors. And that's a V pump, same pump they put in the G8s.
Yep. Yep. No, that's good. I'm happy with that. This guy will be happy. Like I say, for a while, he's not going to have a ton of power anyway.
Do you want
to be going? I don't know if it's a good thing we're leaving or a bad thing, but we're going to try it. Storm started coming in.
Yeah. Wow.
No, it hadn't rained yet.
Yeah, a couple drops.
Watch us have to go directly the way, like we just have to ride right through it. Luckily it's small. She always drives me back. Oh, the bus. Oh.
Hey, Bubbles! I know they're all like, yay! They're like, yay, Dad's coming in.
Was there 3 last time or 2?